All right, welcome. Hope you're well. Make yourself comfortable. We're going to be here for a while. This is a beginner class, it's a crash course for music and for guitar, especially. Really, we're going to start from the basic, from the base. We're going to build a nice foundation. And if you are able to make it through the video, you should be pretty good. You should be pretty, you should have a good building block, a good foundation to be on your way to get better. So, for starters, if you have access to a piano or even on your internet, you could look at a piano. It's a good visual to see music. I find, better than the guitar fret. And if you look at the name of every note on the guitar fretboard, it's very, it looks all weird, it looks all over the place, disorganized. But we're gonna get to know that and make it familiar. But on the piano, it's very simple, very straightforward, because it's just continuous. But here, what we're doing, so we're in standard tuning and we're tuned in E, right? The key of E. So I got my little thing here to tune my guitar. So something else, the top of the guitar, the high string, the first string is the small string which plays the highest notes. Now, if I look up here, I'm gonna get my glasses out. If I look up here, it's gonna tell me that's an E, right? And it's on the blue. It went a little bit over. So what I can do, see, I'm going higher. I'm gonna go lower. I'm gonna go below the E, and then I'm gonna climb up, because you always want to be tuning up. So I'm on it. So I'm good. Now you want to tune every string. So for some reason, the way I am, I still have trouble with seeing that little string as the first string and as the top string. For me, the top is this one up here, right? Because it's higher, but the note is lower. So that's what we're going for. That's the way we have to describe it. Excuse me, I feel like I gotta sneeze. Is it gonna come? No. Yeah, no. Oh, that's weird. I was gonna sneeze, but then it passed. So anyways, so this is an E. All right, the first string. Now I'm gonna jump all the way to the sixth string, which is the lowest resonating, the lowest sounding, because it's a thicker, fatter string. But guess what? We're also tuning it in E. So that's an E. And that's an E. So they're both E's. So that's the same note, but on a different octave. All right. Now, the way that the music works is we're gonna do A, B, C. The way we describe each note is with letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's 7 notes. Okay? So far, that's easy. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now, I added the last note. That's the 8th note that I added, which brings it back to the beginning, which is the same note. So this is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. So that's an A. and that's an A. So you do the seven, you have 7 notes that are different, but then the 8th note is the same because we're going back to A. So it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but on different octaves. So I know it's pretty cool, right? So what that means is this is an A. And this is also an A. You with me? The same way those 2 strings that I showed you, that's an E. That's an E. See? E, E, A, A. Now, I don't have a great singing voice, so I could be off. But anyways, you get what I'm trying to tell you. So that's what we call an octave because it's 8 notes. Now, there's something I didn't tell you. Well, there's not hidden notes, but there's actually more notes. Actually, if you want to get really crazy, there's probably infinite notes, right? Like the smallest difference. But anyways, let's not get crazy. But there's other notes that we didn't mention. If you notice when I played, I skipped. There's some spaces that I skipped. So let me not let me play those spaces, right? Right? So check it out. That's ABC. So now I added those little spaces in between. Those little spaces in between, all right, each bar here is a fret. And this is the fretboard. So I just did 5 frets, which is 5 notes, 5 tones, semitones, steps, half steps, right? So there's different ways to say notes. You don't have to make it too complicated, but these are all notes, right? That's a note, that's a note, that's a note. Now, so this is A, this is B, and this is C. Now, those notes in between, if you look at a piano, those will be the black notes, which we call sharps or flats. What this means is very simple. When you sharpen a note, it means you make it go up a semitone, a half step, or a note. So check this out, right? This is A. We sharpen A. That's A sharp. See the difference? A. So there's a little accent. There's a little, but that's still a note. It's not a B. But guess what? This is a B. That's a B flat. When you flatten a note, you make it go down. Right? So that's it. It's not too complicated. Then you'll say, wait a minute. Why do you call it, why do you have so many different names for the same thing? Man, what are you trying to mix us all up for? Yeah, I know. They're mixing me up too. Like language, sometimes it could still use some work. And we could all figure out the best system that we prefer ourselves. As far as the sharps or flats, well, I believe, I could be wrong, I'm still new at this, but I believe it depends on the context. So I think it depends on the direction the music is going, or what keys you're using or whatnot. But for now, it's really not that important. That's like a sort of nuance that's a little bit more advanced. But when we're beginning, we don't really need, if you see it's a B flat, it's a B flat. And if you see it's an A sharp, it's an A sharp. That's it. It's there. A sharp or B flat is there. It's the same note. But why do you have two names for it? We'll get there. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. I know. Now that's a chord. I love chords. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Now I could turn off my tuner. Oh no. We'll just make sure your guitar is always tuned. Now, you want to hold it properly and you want to be comfortable because you don't want to hurt yourself, your hands and everything. Sorry, I'm just a little tired. So I'm going to check that I tuned everything proper. Okay. So, me, I like to start with the low string, which is an E. Then the fifth string is an A. Okay, now if you remember, on the sixth string, the E, over here, fifth fret, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So sixth string, the low E string, 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth fret is an A. But guess what? The fifth string is an A. So we say the open. When you don't press anything, means it's open. So here we go. Open fifth string is an A. Open A. So you see, if I put my finger here and I do it there, it's the same exact note. So that's something to remember for later. So now so that's an A and it's tuned. Fifth. Now let's go down that way. But we're going up in notes, in sound. These are the higher one. The first string is the highest, which is an E. So bear with me. So stay with me. So we did the E, the first string, and the sixth string is an E. They're both E's. And then the fifth string, that's an A. Then it's a D. That's a D. It's tuned. We're good. Now you want to see a cool exercise? All right, let's go back to that A string. So that's the fifth string. That's an A. If I press on the fifth string first fret, it would be, you guessed it, an A sharp. Or a B flat. Or a B flat. Yes, good answer. Good, you're paying attention. What's after, if I keep going up a fret, what's after A sharp? It's B. What's after B? There are no sharps and there are no flats after B. B is an exceptional one. It goes straight to C. Okay? There's two exceptions. The B, in between the B and the C, there's no black key on the piano. That's why on the piano you see there's two black keys, then there's no black key, and then there's three black keys. There's always 2 and 3, 2 and 3, and then the white keys with the black keys, there's always 3 and 4, and 3 and 4, and 3 and 4. So we got a pattern going on. 3 plus 4 is 7. 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 plus 7 is 12. So from here to there is the octave, but let's say we don't go to the eighth, but with the 7, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Well, that's 7, but then if we do it chromatically means you hit every note. There's no scale, it's just every note. So this is chromatic. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. Right? So there's a mathematical pattern in music, and it's beautiful, and it's not complicated. It's easy math. It's really cool. Now, so I'm a little bit all over the place. I hope you're following, and it will. This is not prepared, so it will happen where it might be a little. You can help me out. Chords. You want me to do chords? That's a chord right there. Fine. You're like, oh, this is boring. Okay, fine. 2 fingers. All right. I showed you the the 3 low strings. E, A, D. So we're gonna hit those 3 strings, but we're gonna put 2 fingers on the A string and the D string, 2nd fret, and it gives you now. If you play everything, it's a beautiful thing. That's like the most basic. It's the most basic. You have to learn this. This is like one of the first things you got to learn. It's like every guitarist's favorite chord, favorite key. This is an E minor, and this is an E major. Major, minor, major, minor. So I'm trying to make it obvious, right? I need some water. Would you wait for me while I go get a glass? You could practice. Now, just this, for me, was really difficult to master. And I would still say that I haven't mastered it yet. But at the beginning, it's difficult. You need to encourage yourself and just put the blinders on and just don't worry about, oh, my fingers hurt or my fingers are not the right size. It's difficult. It is difficult. But trust me, it gets easier. And you just need to try and practice. At first it's awkward. It's because it's things you've never done before. But then it gets easier and you get used to it. It's called muscle memory, right? You're building muscle memory and you're getting your hand-eye coordination, and you're getting used to it. All right? Now, so that's an E, A, D. So E, A, D, then what's next? G. G string. That's a G. Actually, let's verify. It's pretty good. Okay. We're gonna tune it proper, right? There it is. All right. After the G is a B. And that's a B right there. And then finally, but it's actually the first string, is an E. So that's the sound of a tuned guitar. This is a classical guitar. Now, this, it's okay. But when you do this, oof, that's beautiful. that's like beginner stuff. You'll be able to do that in no time. Well, I guess I should show you, right? So this is a classical guitar, also known as a Spanish guitar. And what I just played there is Spanish. So that has a Spanish sound. So that's a cool thing about music, is that music evolves. Music is a language. It's universal. Even plants vibe with music and make music. I saw something where they use these instruments to listen to the frequencies emitted by the plants, and they make music. It's beautiful. Every plant, the tree, fruit, everything vibrates here on this planet, in this realm. Everything vibrates. It's a vibe. All right, so I'm gonna try to stick with the program because it's very easy for me to get lost or go off course, and then it'll just get very long, and I'm still didn't get my water, and I got stuff to do. It's late, it's nighttime, I'm tired, I gotta work tomorrow. But enough about me. Sorry about that. So back to the thing. So do you remember? So it's E, A, D, G, B, E. So eventually you're gonna know it by heart. At the first time you see it, you're like, oh, this is weird. These letters are different. Why? But then after a while, you figure out, oh, okay, that's the G string. This one here. All right, I'll show you another one. If you play a note, that's very simple, but you could vibrate, you could wiggle, and it has an effect. It's a cool effect. Then there's also a slide. You can go. So let's say I do a chord. Pretty funky. All right? So there's another technique that you could have fun with. Then there's the hammer-on. It's kind of in the name. So let's say I'm doing this. This is an A minor. Beautiful chord. I mean, all chords are beautiful. So if let's say I want to do a hammer-on, so I'm going to lift up these fingers. Let's say I'm going to hammer these two fingers. So I'm going to lift them up. I'm going to play the strings. And then I'm going to hammer it down. So check it out. Okay, I'll try. You're like, oh, show me a different one. Okay, I'll try. This is a little bit more difficult for me. I'm going to do the middle finger. So see, it needs work. I'm not the master yet, but I'm progressing. But this is a crash course that I feel is that when I started, I wish somebody showed it to me. It's right. So okay, now we went through the stuff. We're gonna keep going through the stuff. So it's an A over. The A is over here because this string up here. Or down here, this sixth string, the E, it's an E, right? And I told you there was two exceptions where there's no black, where there's no flat, where there's no sharp. There's two places in that whole thing where you have the octave, where you have 7 notes, and then the 8th one is the same one as the first one, but there's 7 that are different, A, B, C, D, F, G. And then you have those black notes, which are the sharps or the flats. and there's 5 of them, 2 here, then 3 there, if you look at the piano. So it means there's 2 places where there's 2 white keys next to each other, missing a black, means there's no flat in between. 2 places, the B and the C. So over here, second string is a B string. So if I play the B string, then I press the first fret, it's not a B sharp, it's a C. There's no sharps and there's no flats between B and C. That's a C, that's a B. Now, there's another place where you get the same thing. Do you know? Can you tell? Can you guess? Figure it out? I'll tell you. It's between the E and the F. So, well, you know that the first and the 6th strings are E's. Both E's. Means same thing. So after E, there's no flat or sharp, means it's an F. So this is an E, and this is an F. All right. Now, do I get the chords right away? All right, I'll show you another chord. So there's a reason why everything is like this, and I guess it's to be able to play proper. But there's different ways you could tune it too, but we're gonna do the standard Western tuning. All right, so here's the shape, okay? Bring you in. All right, so you take the pinky and the ring finger and you go here, okay? Third, we're on the 3rd fret and we're on the 4th and 5th string. This is what we have. Then my middle finger will go below that on the 3rd string, which is the G string, and I'm going to press it down here on the 2nd fret. Now, as you can hear with your ear and your brain and your nose, that's another thing too. With your fingers, practice picking your notes. Different combinations, just to become more closer to becoming a master. And there's a lot of repetition involved. You don't have to do anything, you don't have to go hard. You can do it soft. I suggest you do the minimum with your movements so that it's easy and, Now at the end, I added something. Did you notice? So this is called barring, because with your finger, you make a bar and you press like the whole fret, the whole bar. So when you add those fingers and then you add this bar with those fingers, you're playing a chord. We call it a bar chord. So this is a bar chord. A chord is when you put multiple notes together, like 3 notes. That's a chord. or more. You could put 6 notes. So when you play one note, you get information, you get a vibe. When you play multiple notes, you get different vibes. I absolutely love chords. They're powerful, they're beautiful, and they contain more information. So, and it brings a complexity to the music. So yeah, chords. And now again, it's a language. So we're learning a language. So we're learning our ABCs. All right, and we learned the strings, and so I'll just do a little rundown real quick. If this is the E string, then it's an F, then it's an F sharp, then it's a G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, so I'm sorry, my guitar's out. I think I need to buy new strings because it does that sound. I don't know, there's something off. But here, I'll do it here, okay? So this over here is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12th fret, also an octave, because remember, there's 5 sharps and there's 7 notes. There's 7 normal notes, right? Like the white keys, and then there's 5 black keys, so that's 12. So the 12 is also the 8th, the octave. So when you go here to the 12th fret, it's the same, it's an octave higher than before, which is an E. I'm on the E string, so this is an E, this is an E. This is the B string, second string is the B string, that's a B. If I fret the second fret, 12th fret is a B. An octave higher. Let's try the G string. D string, that's an A. So you get it? I'm sure you do. Now, what else? Well, I think you got most of the basics right now. We did pretty good. It's been half an hour. I think that's enough. I guess that's a really good basic course. Now, my second course, I'm going to do some preparation and some studying, and we're going to get into scales and chords. Yeah. I'm going to save that for next class. But this is a really good place to start, and I encourage you to explore and practice as much as you can, as much as you want to, have fun, and also check out other YouTube channels for music. Listen to music, study music, even documentaries about musicians and stuff like that, and other YouTube channels that can show you, or other stuff, whatever, people. If you can take classes with somebody or just learn from somebody, go for it. I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay, fine, I'll throw in a little extra. You want more? Okay, for that person who's still here, I'll give you some more. So I talked about the Spanish guitar. Okay. So I'm gonna show you the Andalusian scale. That's right, because we were talking about music, culture, and stuff like that. So music is a language, it's God's favorite language, and it's always evolving, right? It's like language where you have a new word to describe something. Well, music, then we had the blues and the rock and the jazz, and if you do a certain sound, it might make you think of something. And earlier I did something, right? That if I play it for somebody in Spain, he'll be like, "Oh yeah, I hear this all day, every day, while I'm walking." It's fun to do. So I'm gonna teach you the Andalusian scale. Okay? Hopefully I remember it. So we're gonna start with the low notes, at the lowest note. So the E, then it's an F. Then we're gonna use the pinky and we're gonna go to the 4th fret, which would be a G sharp, right? Because then, right? So, okay, so that's that for that string. So you can practice just that. All right. I told you I was gonna get carried away and go everywhere. Another good exercise is to just go. Right? Just mess around like that for your fingers. Now, I'm gonna continue. Then the next string, I'm gonna try to talk less and show you more. So then it's the next string open. Then, ooh, I think I'm off. Yeah, okay. So it's open, then it's here, then here. So 2nd and 3rd and open. Simple enough. Guess what? The next string, the D string, which is the 4th string, is the same thing. Okay? You can have fun like that. Now, don't feel like you have to go fast. It's at the beginning, it's best to do slow. Anything you can do slow, you can do fast. So you got to start slow. Okay, so I messed up, I believe. So let me see, because I got to remember, it's been a while. See, you lose it if you don't use it. Yeah, so I think I found it. So this is the funky one. The G string is only, there's no open chord string, and it's only the 1st and 2nd fret. Right? So here we go. Then it's the next string, the B string, B, then it's C, then it's D, then it's E. So you see, even though I know it and I use it a lot, it's still a little tricky, because there's one string that you don't do open string, and that's the G string, where you just go. But then the other ones you do it. This one's different. This one up here, easy to remember, same as this one. and these two. So all in all, it's not too complicated, but it takes some getting used to. So there you go. You have the scale over here, Andalusian scale, and then a nice chord to go with it. The E minor. Over here we have an A minor. Okay. All right. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm super tired, and I don't want to make it too boring, but I think I've give you a good base. The last thing I was doing is I was hitting the one, like the bass note with my thumb, and then other higher notes with 3 fingers as I'm doing a chord. That's it. So there you go. There you have it. To all the 6 people watching, enjoy. That's just a crash course for very beginners. A little music theory in there. Do not be intimidated by the music theory. It's actually quite simple, quite easy. And yeah, enjoy.